How's it going, everyone? It's Mike from PC Classic Cars, back with another virtual description. Today we are going to talk about my 1971 Chevrolet Camaro RS Z28. This is a car that I bought from an older gentleman out of the Utah area. I don't know the exact number of years that he had it because I was working with some of the family members. As again, he was an older gentleman and they were helping him sell part of his collection. But the story goes that he had the car for a number of years. Excuse me. And at the end of the day, it is a real Z28, has the cowl tag code for Z28, so that is a really, really cool thing, and it is a factory black car. On the driveline, it has a GM Crate 350. I do not know exactly when that was installed, but it's got an aluminum intake, a good carb on the top. It runs well. If I had to guess, it's somewhere probably in the 300 to the 350 horse range, so nothing crazy, but it does run well. It is backed by the Saginaw 4-speed manual transmission, power steering, and then power front disc brakes. And then you do have your standard front and rear sway bars. On the exhaust, you have an older set of exhaust kind of front to the back. The headers, they sound good, but they are older. Same thing with the dual exhaust, and you have an H-pipe and full tailpipes. Overall, the car drives well, but like this body style is kind of notorious for, it's got a few little rattles, and it does have some little squeaks coming from the suspension, but it does still drive nice. Take a look at my test drive video. It'll be about 9-10 minutes long of me going down the road. I'll dive into more of the mechanicals on the car. That video will be posted on my website, pcclassiccars.com. On my does it work section, there's a few things that do not work on this car. The interior turn signals are not doing anything. The wipers and the washer sprayer fluids do not function. When you engage the parking brake, it does not hold the car. The passenger window needs a little bit of assistance going up and down, but it will make it. And then the speedometer's off by about 5 miles an hour, but it is functioning. Take a look at my Does It Work section. It is going to be posted on my website again in multiple places. It's going to be in the Additional Informations tab, or if you scroll through all of the photos, you'll see the screenshot of the Does It Work section, which outlines what works and does not work on the vehicle. During my normal inspection, this one does have a few little things that would probably need to be addressed by the next owner. I noted a minor power steering leak. There's a little bit of a drip coming from both of the valve covers, and then the bottom of the transmission also has a small little drip. Again, pretty notorious stuff for vehicles that are not being driven regularly on the old car front. You're going to get some seeps and weeps if they're not being driven regularly. So you do have a few little drips here and there. The passenger side door lock cylinder with the key is a little bit harder to turn, but it will turn the key, or excuse me, it will turn the lock with the key. The bell housing, the transmission in between there, I do not have the dust shield for it, so that's not there. You'll see that on the underneath of the photos. You'll see that there's no shield there. Some of the bushings are older and do have some cracking. So again, you have some wear items that are showing some age. This is something that you could work on right away after buying the car, or you could work on it over time. It doesn't have to be addressed at the exact moment. On the exterior, it is a factory coded 19 black Z28, which is really cool. This one does have the RS package, so you have the good front end with the 4 lights. A lot of these Z28s were optioned with the RS package, but this one being a factory black Z28 is really cool. Like the rest of the car, it is an older cosmetic front to back. The paint does have its imperfections. Walking up to the car, it still presents well, but you have your normal flaws for this body style. Up on the sail panels, you have a few little imperfections. You have some shrinkage in the paint. There are a few little bubbles down low kind of around the car. Some touch-ups, some chips from just age and use. Take a look at the additional photos on this car. It'll outline really all of the imperfections. You do have the nice gray-centered torque thrust wheels. You have nice Nitto tires. Another common problem for this body style is the doors are very long. So when you open and close the doors, they do tend to sag just a little bit. So maybe at some point you could upgrade to newer door pins. That would be one of the things that I would want to do. Again, the additional informations tab on this vehicle is going to be very important to check out all of the imperfections. It is still a presentable car. It does show nice. It's just probably 25 or so years old on the cosmetics. The interior represents the same as the exterior. It is a code 785 black interior. This one does have vinyl with cloth inserts on the seats. I do not know when the seat covers were recovered. I will say there is some wear on the piping on the driver's seat, and then the transition from the vinyl to the cloth on the seat bottom. There is a small tear and it's kind of separating a little bit. The door panels are older. The emblems are older on the interior of the car. The gauges are easy to read. You do have a console with the floor shifter. Again, just expect the interior to kind of be older like the interior. I'll have good photos for y'all to see the flaws on the inside as well. The engine bay is clean. You have your cowl tag where it's supposed to be. It obviously has a GM crate motor in there with ceramic headers, so that stuff's been upgraded. Overall, the engine bay is clean and it shows nice. The underneath does represent as a solid car, but it has had some patchwork done in the front floors as well as the rear floors, and that's one of the main reasons why the car is priced where it's at, and not a whole lot more expensive. Being an RS Z28 factory black car, normally this is going to be a lot more expensive vehicle for me here at my dealership. But this one having some of the older cosmetics, having some of the patchwork done on the floors, that's why I have the car priced where it's at. It does not appear to be a rusty car currently, but it is undercoated. I can see where the front and rear floor pans have been sectioned in. The frame rails do look good in the front. The rear suspension also looks good. Again, take a look at my photos. You'll see some of the metal work that I'm showing or talking about in this video. There'll be really good photos of that stuff. The exhaust is also older, but it still sounds good going down the road. Overall, this is a really cool Z28. It's got the RS package. It's a 4-speed. It's got a GM crate motor. Yes, I wish it had air, and yes, I wish the cosmetics were a little bit nicer. But still, at the end of the day, it's got a lot going for it. You could drive this car like it sits. You could do some mechanical upgrades to it. You could do some cosmetic things over time. Or again, you don't have to do anything. You can still drive this car like it sits, and it's a lot of fun, and it has a lot of value just the way that it sits, being an RS Z28 and a 4-speed, and having a good crate motor in there. So there's a bunch of different options or ways that you could go with this car. You could do the cosmetics. You could put new pans in it. Or again, like I said before, just leave it like it sits. So cool car, not something that I normally get here at my dealership, being a real Z28. They're harder to get in this body style that aren't 50 grand. So you can get into this one for a much better price point. Yes, it's going to have some downfalls, but still, again, a good car to enjoy like it sits. And if anyone needs any more clarification on this car, don't hesitate to reach out to us. You can call me directly on our phone number. We have it listed in our ads. And I'd be more than happy to go over this car with anyone in further detail or get you extra photos or videos of anything that you might need. And as always, I appreciate y'all stopping in to watch another one of my virtual descriptions. Make sure you check out the test drive video along with the additional informations tab. Both are posted on my website, pcclassiccars.com, and I'll catch you guys on the next virtual description. Thanks again for watching.